Hello everyone, welcome to day 3 of my You Are Remarkable class to go. This week I am featuring the gorgeous new You Are Remarkable stamp set, and I have 4 amazing cards to share with you today, this week. And today's card is, it might be my favorite, but there's so many good ones. So you can earn this class to go for free. There are 3 different options to earn the class to go for free. All you need to do is place an order in my online store. For options 1 and 2, you do need to make sure that you're using the host code. If your order is over $150, please don't use the host code. You're going to earn Stampin' Rewards. You're also going to get lots of benefits with that $150 order, including earning the embellishments that we're using this week completely free. So you'll get a full package of the brass butterflies that we're using this week. To get the class to go, make sure you're placing your orders by March 15th. To get this class to go for free, I'll have a different class to go at the end of the month. The host code is in the video description if you're looking for that. All right, let's kind of do a little quick review. Day 1, we made this really fun kind of triple fold card, triple fold. I don't know what you call it, but it was so super cute. Day 2, we made this card a little bit simpler, but still just as gorgeous. Today, day 3, we are making a bridge card, which I've kind of been obsessed with lately. I've made a few of these lately, and I love them. So it opens this way, and it opens again that way. Isn't that gorgeous and stunning? So there's lots of stamping on here, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, excuse me, I'm not going to go over the dimensions of a lot of the pieces that I'm using. Those are all listed in the video description. So make sure that you're checking the video description when you to figure out all the dimensions. They're also on my blog as well, which will be linked in the video description as well. So you can see pictures and measurements and everything else on my blog, including a supply list that is linked. Okay, so I inked up that flower in black memento, and we're going to stamp this 3 times on our basic white piece. Now this piece is I will give you the measurements for this one. This one is 4 by 3 1/4. But this one has a ton. This card has a lot of measurements, so we're not going to go over all the measurements. Plus the notes for this card for some reason are extra messy. So I don't know that I can even read all my measurements. Everything will be listed correctly in the video description. Now I'm stamping this 2 more times. I started with the center to make sure that we get that flower in the center perfectly featured, and then I'm stamping 1 on either side of that, just like that. All right, perfect. All right, that was in black memento. Now we're going to go in and fill it in just like we've done for the last 2 videos. I'm going to use Shamrock this time. This is another one of those in colors. It's featured with our DSP. I think it's called the Unbounded Beauty DSP. It is a stunning DSP, and we'll feature it again on today's card. All right, so Shamrock ink, and we are going to line these up. You could also color this if you wanted to. That would be stunning. Colored. I haven't tried to color this image because this 2-step stamping with the little fill-in stamp set is so perfect. I didn't think it needed colored in, but it is so perfect. And that Shamrock is gorgeous. Shamrock is probably one of my favorite greens. And you know what? We need to stamp our greeting. Let me get that one back out. I have loved using Shamrock. It's so pretty. We'll have it for 1 more year, so if you haven't got it yet, make sure you grab it. It is one of our in colors. In colors are around for 2 years. This one is part of the 2024-2026 in colors. All right. Sometimes the simplest things mean the most. What a beautiful greeting. All right, and that was stamped in Shamrock, and that was on the smaller piece of white that will be in your kit. All right, that's all for the Shamrock. Now let's bring back in our flower. We're going to stamp our flower in Pretty in Pink. So I'm going to grab that, and then we'll ink this up, and we'll stamp the flower. Now this is the 3rd day that I've done this 2-step stamping, so I do give a few little tips on day 1 on how to line these images up. So make sure you check those out. And these little side flowers that I'm doing, you know, that's not the full flower, so sometimes that's even harder to line it up because, you know, I have my anchor points that I always check when I'm lining up 2-step stamping, and if, like, for example, like this one, my anchor point's not there, it's hard to line it up, but that's okay. We make it work, right? All right, now we're going to grab in Berry Burst. This is from our Brights collection. This is not one of our in colors. We're going to grab our little jelly bean. as I mentioned in day one. It's actually the little center for the flower, but it looks like a jelly bean. And we're just going to stamp that on any of the centers. If this one had the center too, we would stamp that as well. Now we have the polka dots from the image. We are also going to stamp. Now this I think is optional. I'm going to go ahead and do it because I did it on my my original card, and I want to show you kind of what I did and how I did it. But it's a little bit optional. After I did it, I was like, oh, it looks like my card has the measles. So this one's optional. I mean, you could do it in a lighter color, maybe grab in some Pool Party. But I'm going to stick with my Berry Burst, and I'm going to stamp it off. I don't want it to be super strong. And I'm just going to kind of go around. And if it goes over the images, that's okay. I'm just trying to kind of fill in this white spot, these white areas. But over the images is okay for some of the areas. I don't want to completely cover my flowers, but you know, you can't really fill in the white area without going over the images a little bit. So, but again, if you're like, well, I don't want my card to look like it's contracted the measles, then then by all means you certainly don't have to do it. But I think it adds some fun texture. But you can do it in a different color, or you can leave it off altogether. Your choice. Okay. You're probably going to hear my clock go off, so I do apologize. I film these on days where my husband is at his in-person work week, so, you know, I got to do it when I can. All right, so let's get to the assembly of our card. That is all of our stamping. So once you get that done, you are ready to assemble. Now, our card base, I will give you the measurements of the card base because the card base is going to look kind of funny. You're like, what happened to that card base? I am using Shamrock. This is your standard card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored in half at 4 1/4. On the front of your card, you're going to cut in 1 inch in, cut all the way to the score line. And then on the other side, you're going to do the same, cut 1 inch in, all the way to the score line. So it's going to kind of look like it has these little flimsy legs that have, you know, detached from the card. It looks silly at this stage, but once we get it all together, it will look stunning. So let's give that a good burnish. And we will start assembling. So I have some DSP pieces, again, from that Unbounded Beauty. I have 2 pieces that I believe are 4 by 3/4, and these are going to go right on those little legs, like I said. We're going to just stick those down, so right down onto our little legs. All right, just like that. Okay, now I have another piece of DSP, and then I have another piece of Shamrock. This one is 5 by 1 1/4. And then 5.5 by 1 1/4, I apologize. And this DSP is 5 1/4 by 1. So we're going to attach this piece to that extra Shamrock piece. And this will be what is called like our bridge piece. This will be what is kind of holding the card together. Okay, so we have this piece, and we're going to stick some dimensionals on this, but only on the 2 ends. That is very important. Do not put any adhesive in the center of this because this is going to get adhered down onto our card just about like 1 inch up from the bottom. And it's only going to be adhered to those little legs. It's using no adhesive in the middle. It's only adhered to those little legs so that it kind of stabilizes those legs from flopping around. And it makes like a fold card like that. I hope that makes sense. But only put adhesive on those edges. Do not put it in the center. And then this piece, our stamped piece, will go right in the center of our card, just like that. So it's going to all shine through just like that. So pretty, right? We haven't even added our greeting or our embellishments. It's a stunning card. All right, let's attach our greeting piece. I have another piece of Shamrock. Again, all the measurements will be in the video description. And this one will just go on here. It's just a little mat. And we are going to adhere this down. Now it's going to be important and strategic where we put our adhesive on this because we don't want to put any adhesive where it's going to overlap the stamped piece. We only want to put adhesive on the bottom and then maybe a little bit up the right side. So I'm going to use dimensionals. So I'm going to put, actually, did I use dimensionals? Oh, I did use dimensionals, but only on the side here. So I'm going to do some adhesive along the bottom. So just some Stampin' Seal on the bottom. And then I'm going to get a little edge piece here from my dimensionals. I'm just going to tear that, and I'm going to get the little sticky off of it already. And when we stick this down, we're going to stick this onto our our card like this. I want to make sure I know where it's overlapping before I stick that, that adhesive down, the little dimensional piece, just to make sure that we don't have anything on the inside. If you have adhesive here, if you put a dimensional here, you are going to glue the card shut. It will only open like this. Okay, so just make sure no adhesive goes in the middle here. All right, that's it with the dimensionals. I'm not using a lot of dimensionals this week. I don't know how that happened. All right, we're gonna pull in our brass butterflies. I'm going to add, let's add one up here on the greeting, and then we're gonna add one over here. And then I wanna put a bigger one. I wanna open it up, and I wanna kinda hide that behind here. So when you open it up, you still get another little shiny surprise there. And that completes today's card. It is a stunner, don't you think? And this fun fold is really fun and easy. It's quick to do. Everybody will think you're a genius with this one. It is so cute. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow for day 4 and our final card in the series. So I hope to see you then. Bye-bye.